My name is Ricardo. I'm the facilitator for the Rowdy Silver Crew. Give it up for the Rowdy Silver Crew, please. Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Britta.
I'm Addie.
I'm Ian.
I'm Tyler.
Molly.
Tanya.
And I'm Kayla.
And I'm Daynara. Okay, so before we began, we decided to pull out some values and things that we wanted to focus on, and these were the words that we came up with that we all decided is what we really thought we could use. And from these, we created a mission statement that is to create a connection to campus by forming a new tradition through communication, inspiration, and involvement, which forms the new MSU Denver community.
So one of the most important things that we felt when it came to these topics was the free expression. And mainly because it's something when you walk around campus you might not normally see, especially for most students who go from their car to classroom and back to their car and never take the time to express themselves in the meantime. Next slide. So there's a lot of campuses around the United States that have set up programs where they have walls dedicated to being able to write whatever you want and be expressive somewhere on campus. I know like UCSC, they have a whole graffiti tunnel where students are allowed to do graffiti. We kind of thought that might be a bit much for Metro. But then so we came up with, or being able to see people write stuff and be expressive kind of made us start to think about what are ways that we could set something up where we could create an idea and have somebody finish the idea, and something that would cause curiosity among other students, but still keep them engaged at the same time. So next slide. So what I'd like to present to you is what we call the Rowdy wall, and it's basically an outdoor chalkboard that's set up in strategic places around campus that will allow students to finish a sentence. So like this one, we have it set up where it says, "Today I feel," and students can go up and write how they feel that day. But it'd be something really interesting for students to do, but also go and read and take the time to stop from between the classroom and the car and reflect on how they do feel that day. So the way we would ideally set it up is having prompts like this one's a little bit different. It says MSU Denver is. These are things that we could use like with the Student Success Program or with New Student Orientation, where we could have prompts that are specifically derived for that program. So for New Student Orientation, we could have something that says MSU Denver is, or I expect college to be, and create almost a legacy and a part of it in the beginning when students are starting at Metro by having those programs show this wall to the students and have them interact with this wall as they're going through their orientation. So the prompts will be changed monthly or whenever a program needs to use the wall for an orientation, or even any program can use it. Another reason why we kind of chose this was because we realized that a lot of things on campus don't happen because they will require constant maintenance, which is not really a problem, but the problem is more in who's going to do it. So we chose this because it requires very few people to maintain it and keep it running. Some of the other hurdles we came up with were problems maybe with AHEC and where we would get it placed. General maintenance, weathering of the chalkboard, and maybe lighting if we chose to do so. And then general monitoring to prevent vandalism and or possible removal of derogatory items. And then Britta will talk about the finance portion of it.
All right, so we decided not to just go into this blind and say, hey guys, wouldn't this be cool? It looks rad, right? And we actually decided to try out our idea here at the conference. So we tricked all of you, into doing our project. So if you saw these posters around, if you contributed to them, guess what? You've already participated in the wall. Seriously, this is the exact same thing we want to do. We want to put up a prompt. So these are some of the examples of the prompts we use. My university is, or I lead by, you all contributed. We counted it up. 37 different things got written on this. There's 82 people here. That's a 45% participation rate. That is phenomenal.
In one day.
In one day. And if you think about other projects or other events or other activities you've seen on campus, the participation rate compared to total student body is very, very low. So 45%, that's almost half. That's not bad. So here's a little bit of our, I guess, market research that we did. So we feel like it would be very successful on campus just based on this, that a lot of people like to write their ideas down. They like to share. They like to be heard, even if it is anonymously. So if you could, next slide. We also did a little bit of shopping on HomeDepot.com to figure out exactly how much we'd be spending here. So there's basically the things we would need. The white spray paint would be for, you might have seen it in the other pictures, but in the bottom right corner, we made a hashtag. Oh, it's covered in that one. But basically the hashtag would be just the hashtag symbol and then Rowdy wall. So if somebody took a picture of the wall with a particularly cool entry on it, they could just post it on Twitter, hashtag it. If you want to post your entry on the wall that day, you could, again, same thing. We'd get it online, kind of have that presence, bring it into the 21st century with all of our technology and everything like that. So that's what the white spray paint is for. Everything else I think is pretty explanatory. That's how we would build it. The free items, student media could donate chalk. They apparently have a lot on hand that they're not using. The mailbox, we want, that wasn't in the diagrams, but basically we would just put a mailbox next to it, like in the ground, and fill it with chalk. That way you don't have to worry about the chalk getting exposed to the weather or the rain. It's always right there, and plus we could decorate it, and it would look awesome. We could have the art department throw something together for us, either wood or metal. They do a lot of both. The prompt would basically just be a laminated piece of computer paper with magnets on the back. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, student activities could take care of that. And then tools, the industrial design department, which Ian works with, has all the tools we would need to do this. So that's all taken care of. We realized that our total is significantly above the $50 amount we were given here. So we're left with an $87.35 deficit here. But we talked to Denny Boyd from new student orientation about the idea, about the way it could be utilized in orientation, and he said, quote, "I'm in." Woo! So we feel like we've got that other $87 in the bag, and that's pretty much taken care of. We can go to the next slide here. So basically this entire project is about legacy. Ian mentioned that term, but that's what this is about. We're a university now. We'd like to have traditions. We would like to have identifying factors. I mean, when we went online and Googled like graffiti wall university, we got Stanford, we got UCSD, we got all these different schools, and we feel like this is something that would give us more visibility, if nothing else. It would give students a chance to connect, even if they can't see each other and they can't sit down and talk about this. It's a way to bring the campus community together, and I know this project kind of had the prompt of we need to involve 100 people, it needs to happen in one day. This goes way beyond that. It would take one day to set it up, maybe one day to build it or whatever, but beyond that, this could be a years-long thing. This could involve thousands of people, and for $140, I think that's pretty worthwhile. So I guess that's it for our presentation. Do you guys have any questions? The prompt would be through the Student Activities Office, yeah. And it's just one board. The pictures were just in different places to show examples, but it would be one singular board that's 4 feet high and 8 feet long.
But we have different clubs. She was like asked us to put a prompt on the board.
Oh, it's also double-sided. So you could have 2 different prompts at a time.
The location is just iffy right now.
Yeah, the location's iffy. That would have to be negotiated, but...
Yeah.